Hey, welcome to another QueBIT XP&A Coffee Break. Boy, do I have a great guest today. Patricia Vekich Waldron. She and I go way back. How many years, Patricia? 15, 20?
2005.
Amazing, amazing. 20 years. So glad to have you on. Patricia, I'm drinking a Nespresso Stormio Plus, a little extra caffeine this morning. I'm feeling a little sluggish. So how about you? What are you drinking today?
Well, maybe our chat will brighten you up. I'm usually an espresso girl, but I've got my French press today with some Colombian coffee that I picked up in Cartagena.
All right. I love Cartagena. What a great town that is. I shouldn't say town. It's a big city.
It is a city, isn't it?
Yeah. Amazing. Wow. French. You know what? I've had other guests that weren't as much into coffee, but that you're right on target. I mean, that's definitely a great coffee to have on a coffee break. So, hey, Patricia started her career in retail and has been in it forever. I'm not going to say how long.
Thank you.
Her she spent her career developing and marketing solutions for the retail industry. She speaks at retail conferences worldwide, highly respected in the industry, and is a contributing editor to Retail Wire. Thanks for joining us today.
And I'm so glad to be on with you today. I've enjoyed your coffee chats, and I'm happy to be here today. And we're going to talk planning.
Absolutely. So, retailers plan in multiple areas of the organization, from a finance planning, strategic planning, capital planning, building out stores, store operations, certainly merchandising, promotional planning. There is planning going on everywhere within retail. But I wanted to get your perspective on what you think the most burning issues are today in retail planning.
I think the pandemic heightened what the issues always have been. And now planning really needs to happen more frequently, faster. There's more modeling taking place. And the big thing is with unified commerce, everything needs to be integrated. And I think that's what's really difficult because you've got a top-down strategy. You've got customers expecting a unified experience. And there's a disconnect between the expectations and the plan and what is actually executed. Both on the store side, on the supply chain side, on fulfillment in many different places. And I think that's where planning can help really close that gap. Yeah, so I think those are the big things, and especially with around inventory, right? Because now the role of stores has changed so much, and still most product, over 85% now, products are still bought in stores. But stores have really changed in the way that the function of the store is different. A lot of them distribute, a lot of them receive return merchandise, a lot of them pick and pack, some are curbside delivery. So there's many, many more things that are happening in the store that are related to other parts of the organization on an immediate basis. So I think planning across the organization is even more important than it was.
Yeah, so I mean, just an example, I replaced my Alexa show in my kitchen, which I love. It was a little 5-inch screen. I bought an 8-inch, and they said, hey, you can get a $20 rebate if you bring the old one back. Well, I just go to Whole Foods right here and return it right to Whole Foods. So yeah, I really see that, the whole experience of the store becoming the storefront for not only just going into a retail environment, but also the storefront for the e-commerce environment.
Absolutely. And it's becoming more important for after you get paid, right? So the whole function of what happens after a transaction is even more important, right? So they entice you to go back into Whole Foods and to bring your return in, and I bet you bought something when you were there.
Yeah. No, I don't buy fish. I catch my own fish, but I did buy some coffee.
Yep.
Because I love their coffee selection there.
Yeah.
So we have this gap between strategy and execution, and planning helps close that gap. How do people get started?
It's really interesting because, as you said, we've been doing this for a long time, advising retailers, developing solutions for them, helping them be successful. And I was at a conference a couple of weeks ago, the e-tail conference in Palm Springs out here in California. And
Ooh, fancy.
it was really interesting when they were talking about, how do you get started on new IT products? How do you get new implementations, the whole process of people people, processes, and technologies. How do you get those to change? And the advice they gave was what we've been coaching people on for years. You have to really think big, but work small, right? So
Yeah.
you have to pick something to get started where it's low hanging fruit, or there's a specific pain point in the organization, a specific project, and identify someone who's going to be your partner, your advocate, your sponsor, and execute that in a short amount of time and bring value to the business. And as you do that, more and more, you can create what I think of as like a hub and spoke, where you've got people with expertise in using your, in this case, planning tools, right? And go out in the rest of the organization and start connecting all of those disparate parts of the whole value chain within retail so that you can make sure that you've got the products you need when you need them, where you need them, and the right people to staff. So for me, it's really about thinking big, working small, having a great sponsor, and starting with something that is a pain point that you can resolve.
That's a great point. And then, like our third point here, it's a journey. So then you just iterate, right?
Iterate for sure, and bring more people into the flow, because once you've solved this problem, word gets around. We all know how the grapevine works, right? Plus, if you've got governance, you can then have people who can do these modelings and show people very quickly with the new tools that are in the market now, that are very easy to model, very easy to implement, very easy for people to use, understand, and also get the information down to the people who are actually making the decisions on the ground, right? So I think that piece is what's super important, is once you do that, you can then iterate and it just becomes daisy chained and the organization benefits from it.
Wow. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. So, hey, thank you for joining today, Patricia. It's been fantastic. I know there are plenty of people out there that could use your wisdom. And so please get in touch with Patricia. She's an excellent resource when it comes to retail strategy, retail planning. And if you find this topic interesting, you'd like to schedule a one-on-one 15-minute coffee break focused on your business and the challenges you face, contact us. Our contact information is right here on the screen. We'll schedule a call with you, 15 minutes, and provide you with a $30 Starbucks gift card for your time. So, Patricia, thank you for joining today.
Hey, Dan, that's a great deal. I think you're going to get a lot of takers on that. And I would just like to say that you were the one who set the model on industry planning and supply chain. You've got the expertise there. I've admired it for many years, and I just know there's a lot of organizations where you've helped them drive their business and achieve their goals. So well done, and keep on going, pouring that coffee.
Thank you, Patricia. Have a great day.
You too.